Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel and a very wet day. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And this is Questions, Coffee, and Cars. How do you get a question in? Rain or shine, Andrea?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday I put a post out asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Will Toyota be bringing the Mini Land Cruiser to Canada? Well, we saw it in Japan at the Japan Mobility Show. Some of you loved it. Some of you didn't like it.
I have post-traumatic stress after that event, Andrea.
That was crazy. It was jammed.
It was
jammed.
Yeah, but it wasn't so much the car. It was the journalists from around the world that were like all over it, like, you know, a gorilla on a banana. I don't even know if gorillas eat bananas, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like, it was crazy how many people were on this thing, and I was just trying to get shots, and they're all in there.
Well, they're all fighting for photos and video, just as we're fighting for it. No, it is not coming to North America unless Toyota changes their mind. But for now, as it stands, no, it's not coming. They could do something slightly different and bring it, but for now, no.
We were hinted strongly that there'll be something like it, but it won't be exactly the same. So will it be a Lexus? A baby Lexus, maybe?
Maybe.
We'll have to wait and see.
Used car question, 2024 CX-50 non-turbo GT with 40 kilometers versus 2023 RAV4 with 70 kilometers. Both I'm getting at 37,000 Canadian. What can be a good choice? I'm coming from a 2017 Kia Forte, and it was not a reliable car, so I need a reliable option now.
Okay, just whoa. RAV4, what year is the
2023 RAV4 with 70 kilometers.
And they want almost 40K for it?
37,000
Wow.
or a 2024 CX-50 non-turbo GT. Here's the thing. They are totally different vehicles. You will find that the CX-50 is more fun to drive, more engaging, more dynamic. The RAV4, on the other hand, is a more reliable choice for you.
Okay,
Interior-wise, even the Mazda is nicer than the RAV4.
Question. Is this a RAV4 hybrid?
It didn't say, but
Yeah, go ahead.
this person's looking at the gas model CX-50, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's a gas model RAV4.
I just don't understand why it would be 37, like, unless it's like the full spec. But listen, the new RAV4 is going into production in like a couple of weeks, and then they're going to start showing up at dealers within, you know, a month or so after that, depending on where you are in North America. And if there's any gas models on the lot currently that are new, there might be some kicking around, because there's going to be a lot of people waiting for that new RAV4, which is only hybrid. And if you're into a gas model, which it sounds like you're open to it, you might actually, for 37 grand, you might be able to get a new one or a demo. I mean, maybe not fully spec'd, but that's a lot of money. And plus, you drive it for a couple of years, it's going to be over 100,000 kilometers. And then the value falls through the, doesn't ever with a RAV4, but you know what I mean. It's not going to be strong.
Especially with the 2026 model.
Coming,
with all of the updates that it's received, many consumers might want to lean towards buying that one. Look, I think we should answer the question if these are your two options right now for whatever reason. The issue is, if you want a more reliable vehicle, it is going to be the RAV4, because I pulled some numbers for you on the CX-50, and Consumer Reports has listed some issues from owners of the CX-50 non-turbo, like rear hatch leak due to a bad seal, rattles that have come from the panoramic sunroof. The person has gone in 3 times to get it fixed. Hood vibration squeaks in the dash. Now, the RAV4 isn't perfect. That 2023 model, Consumer Reports says that the instrument panel display has had some electric issues, and the rear view camera not always showing an image. So look,
but the rear view camera is a recall.
Yes.
That's that was a major recall. But I just want to say something about the panoramic roof in the CX-50, is that this is the very first panel roof they've put in a vehicle. So there are teething issues with getting that just right. So keep an eye out for that, and look for any signs of water ingress, and also look for, also the car should have documentation if it's that new, and see if it's been in for any kind of leaks.
Definitely check the history and see what's been going on with both of these models. But keep in mind that it doesn't happen to every CX-50, but you could be one of those who buys it and there are issues. It hasn't been perfect for reliability. Let's just say that.
I would honestly start kicking around the Toyota dealers and seeing if they have any gas inventory, because $37,000, you can get a brand new gas model for that.
You certainly can. Love your channel. Thank you. I have a CX-70 plug-in hybrid. At its annual service, I was surprised how worn the all seasons already are in 1 year, and I have winters on from November to April. Is this a problem with original factory tires being bad quality, or do I need to budget for new tires regularly with an EV PHEV? Are manufacturers working on longer lasting EV tires?
Okay, I think one of the issues you have is with the CX-70 is that it's often got the bigger wheels and tires on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have the bigger tire and maybe a more performance-oriented tire. Tires are the easiest thing to change on a car, and it can have the biggest impact on the way it drives, just first baseline. And yes, there's better low rolling resistance tires that are going to give you better tread life. So maybe just the original equipment tire they put on was too soft and you've scrubbed through them. But there's definitely loads of tires that'll fit that car that you can get much better mileage out of them.
I did look online for you as well to see what make of tire that you would have had on the original CX-70, but it's not listed. The thing about plug-in hybrids and pure electric vehicles is you've got a battery, and the battery is heavy. And although on plug-in hybrids it's not as big as a pure EV, it still makes the vehicle heavier. So you have to get tires that have the proper compounds and rubber, that they are longer lasting. We have a Bolt EUV. We know that we're going to have to replace the tires on it. We're going to have to watch for that because it is a heavier vehicle for the tires. Michelin actually makes some good ones.
Michelin makes excellent tires.
Yeah, so you could go for a Michelin tire online. The Defender 2 is a really good choice, but there's also others. Like you just have to do your research and find out which would work better for your CX-70.
You don't have to buy tires with this webpage. You can just do the research. You go on TireRack.com, a huge retailer of tires. You put in your vehicle, you put in the size of the wheel and tire, and then it gives you all the recommendations. And you even have filters on there if you're looking for an all-season tire, an all-weather tire, a straight summer tire. And if you go on there, it'll give you all of the suggestions. Then you read each one, and different tires have different longevities, right? So if longevity is what you're looking for, then you can start selecting those tires and looking for them locally. You can even order them through there and get them put on the car. But yeah, this can be fixed.
And also, it's also about how you drive.
You might
do
be a
lot of
hooligan.
highway driving. Do you do a lot of city driving? Climate. Do you live in a hot climate, cold climate? All this affects your tires. So it's also based on the type of lifestyle you
If you're driving like a hooligan.
Yeah, some people think that I drive like a hooligan. I really don't drive like a hooligan. What do you think of the GR-GT car from Toyota? I think Toyota wants to be a serious player in the sector in cars.
Well, they used to have the LFA, and that went away. And we saw in Tokyo at the mobility show a car from Lexus, and I think this is just like the Toyota version. I didn't really read up on too much on it. I know there was a small group of journalists got to go to Japan to see this car, but it's just amazing to me that a company like Toyota that has more different SKUs of vehicles than any other brand has room for more capability. It's crazy.
Even when we were at the mobility show and you see all the stuff that was being shown, yes, they're concepts, but it's kind of like, wow, just blows your mind. I think this sports car looks really good. I think that Toyota did a nice job with it. It's got a 4-liter twin turbo V8 with over 600 horsepower and over 600 pound-feet of torque. And it uses a new aluminum body frame.
So you read up on
lighter.
it. Yeah. I saw the pictures of it, but I didn't really read much on it.
So anyway, I think it looks cool. I don't know. Is there interest in vehicles like this? price point maybe?
I don't know. I don't know what the price is, but yes, there are certainly interests. There are certainly people who like these styles of cars. So, you know, it's amazing to me that they, of all the energy they have to put on things, they put energy into that. But that's the thing about, excuse me, is about Akio Toyoda is he's a Gazoo Racing, the GR part of it. He wants to really build that as an own separate brand. And that was at his keynote speech in Tokyo. He talked about all of these different brands, and they're splitting off Century as a luxury brand. They're going to try and enter the North American market as an uber luxury brand, and GR is going to be developed more and more and more.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool to still have sports cars. This has one electric motor, by the way, so it's a hybrid. Donald Trump said he wants more cute small cars. It's the only thing him and I can agree on. But do we need his permission? The smart car, Nissan Micra, Geo Metro, etc. are still legal road cars. I understand they were no longer commercially viable for car makers, but is there any regulations prohibiting these cars, or is Trump just expressing one of his millions of opinions?
So you had this little huddle in the Oval Office with all the car executives were there, and he basically said to the transportation secretary or whoever it is, are we going to get rid of the regulations? And he said we're already doing it. So there are regulations around the size of vehicles and efficiency of vehicles. So if you're not aware, you have to, in the past, because of EPA regulations, keep affecting greater efficiency as the years go on. So by 2030, 2035, and all those sorts of things, you have to get more and more efficient. So it's easier to get greater efficiencies out of a bigger vehicle, but once you've got a small vehicle, there's not much room in there to make it more efficient because it's already little and they just can't do it. So they stop selling them. So it sounds to me like green lighting the ability to make them again.
The issue too with manufacturers when we go to these drive events and I talk to them about small vehicles, because some viewers do say, why can't we have smaller vehicles at a more affordable price point? But when I talk to them about it, they say, look, you still have to have all those extra features and safety features in these smaller vehicles like you have in the class above. And the pricing is just too close that many people will say, well, why would I buy this little vehicle when I can just move to the higher class and buy something in compact versus subcompact for not much more money? And that's the issue. The thing about Trump is that he wants these vehicles to be made in the US, which is going to cost more money.
A lot more.
The other thing is that manufacturers, they have plans in place. Like they don't just all of a sudden pivot and say, okay, we're going to start making these now. Typically, there are plans in place 3, maybe even 5 years ahead of when it actually comes out. So when it comes to factories, do they have to open more factories in the US to make these small cars, or do they have to revamp existing factories to make it easier to produce them? I think it's challenging.
I think I don't know what he saw, what he thought was a cute little car. I'm only speculating that maybe he saw what are called K cars that are sold in Japan, and these are small little cars that are immensely popular. And the reason is, in Japan, is there's different licensing requirements and taxation and insurance for these little cars. So there's this class of vehicle called K cars, and it's not K like in the old K car from Chrysler, it's K-E-I, I think is how you spell it.
That's right.
And these cars are very, very popular, especially outside of urban areas where, there's people have small farms and things, and they have these little pickup trucks. And in Tokyo, you see them as delivery vehicles all the time. But these are essentially 800cc motorcycle engines driving a little small runaround vehicle. There is no appetite for Americans to buy 800cc cars. There isn't. Everything's got to have at least a 2-liter or a 1.6-liter 4-cylinder in there, and they're just not made for that. So, and then you're going to build them in North America. with UAW wages, there's not a chance you can sell them competitively.
President Trump did say K cars, and
Oh, did he say K cars?
He did,
Okay.
and that's
because the clip I saw didn't show the before.
I thought he said K cars, unless maybe
No,
reporters are saying K cars.
I said to you when we were out on our walk hand in hand every night after dinner. I said to Andrea, I think he's talking about K cars. So maybe I put it in your head. But anyway,
Maybe.
but here's the thing is that those cars are sold here in Canada. They have to be at least 15 years old. And there's a lot of them running around. But that's a very, very small market.
Very small market. Here's the other thing. If you ever go to Texas, if you live in Texas, there are mostly full-size trucks on the road.
Suburban.
Gas is cheap. And that's what people like to drive. They do a lot of highway driving. It's super comfortable to drive one of these vehicles, and they just don't care. That's what they want to drive. So I can't imagine a vehicle with not much power, because I think when we did the Buick Envista, it has a good torque number, but the horsepower number is not very powerful. And I remember many of our viewers are like, who would want that? That horsepower is too low. But actually the torque number is quite good on that one.
Okay, just one thing. I was obsessed with these things for the longest time, and there's people who bring them in from Japan here, and the regulations are different. In the United States, the car has to be 25 years old for it to come in without regulations. In Canada, it's 15 years. So there's actually companies that bring them in from Japan. Anyway, I was filming in this one area where you do all the outside shots of the car, and there's this young guy, and he has a K truck. It's a Honda K car pickup truck. And I kept on telling him how much I liked his truck and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, well, do you want to take it for a drive? Because he knows who we are, right? So I said, sure. So I took it for a drive. Well, that whole I want one of these kind of faded away very quickly. I thought it was cool and fun, but we used to have a Volkswagen van. Well, that was like a lightning bolt compared to this thing.
It also needed a new muffler, so you could hear Zach
By the
coming.
way,
I knew when he was coming
yeah,
home.
but I just want to tell you about my old Volkswagen van, okay? Andrew keeps going on about, I did drive for a while, needing a new muffler, but I did get it fixed. And the last few years, several years, it had a perfectly good muffler. But I'm telling you, that Volkswagen van is like a rocket ship compared to a K car.
I have to tell you that Zach got the muffler put on because we went to get a Christmas tree. And we went to the lot, and I was with him, and we started up that Volkswagen. And I said to Zach at that moment, as everybody turned around to look at us, I said, it's time to get a new muffler. Please.
Yeah, but I kind of liked that. It made it sound cool.
I wanted to get this on your radar, not sure about the location, but apparently Hyundai is requiring paid software subscriptions to do basic maintenance on the Ioniq 5N. Hopefully something you and Zach can weigh in on next week. So this person put a link to an article. And so I reached out to the Hyundai PR team just to get their perspective on it. This is the issue with the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 5N. It has an electric parking brake, and that brake has an official repair procedure in place for the rear calipers in service mode using either our global diagnostic system or the J2534 application.
I love when you talk dirty like that, Andrea. Can you spin me some more J225?
A whole lot of numbers, right? So this is about people who want to
do their own
do
brake
it
job.
their own.
Yeah, their own brakes.
They
do
don't want to
brakes.
go in. Look at electric vehicles are just more complicated. I get it that you want to do it yourself, but
They're more complicated and less complicated at the same time.
True.
There's less
true.
mechanical stuff, but there's obviously more software. So I think you need to have something in order to override the automatic parking brake, probably.
So
right?
we're going to put this statement on the screen. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I am going to read the
Paraphrase
last part. Hyundai is actively exploring ways to make routine maintenance easier for all customers while upholding safety standards. We appreciate the interest in do-it-yourself repairs and will continue working towards solutions that balance convenience with security. So I think if you are that type of person who wants to do it yourself, repairs, maybe this particular vehicle isn't the right choice for you right now.
Okay, so DIY is not huge, right? Like there are people who like to do everything themselves, but as a part of the greater population, it's a very small percentage. And on an electric car, it's even less than that. So yes, I understand the frustration, but I would suspect 99.98% of people who have an EV, they take it somewhere else to get it done.
And we'd love to hear from you. Like, type below if you are someone who does it yourself and you want to do that. I don't know. I'm just curious at the percentage of how many people actually are doing a lot of their maintenance.
Yeah, but
now.
DIY is a thing, but it's
a
a thing on often older cars, less technical cars. I mean, are you going to invest a big ton of money to get a Snap-on scan tool, for all the other diagnostic stuff? I don't know. Anyway, so Andrea, quick question. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday I put a post out asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show. Thanks for watching.